Andrew is in Fort Collins, Colorado. Hi, Andrew. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for taking my call, guys. Really appreciate it.
Sure. What's up?
So, my new family and I are looking to close on our very first home at the end of May in Nebraska. We're relocating to a more affordable area and to be closer to in-laws. However, we got a call from our realtor yesterday saying that the home now has 3 feet of floodwater in the basement. So what we're trying to do is just get some perspective. Like, we're trying to figure out, is this a blessing to say, hey, you know what, this wasn't meant to be, like, we should back out of it. We may have to negotiate with some costs that we talked about with the seller prior to moving in, if we exit, but there may be some homes in the area. It's not as hot of a market as some of the other areas that we were looking at. Or B, is this something that, it's a chance to renegotiate the cost with the seller? Or is this just going to be this a mountain of work ahead of us with 3 feet of flood water? I don't know. It kind of just threw us for a loop because we had a crazy 2020 and we were like, you know what, we're going to be settled. We know we're going to be. It's our first home. Got this 9-month-old and we're out of the state, but now we get this thrown at us. We're like, okay, we just really want to think with objective opinions and just what's the best decision to go forth on this.
Yeah. So is the property in a floodplain?
It's in a low risk area and it's never really had anything happen to it before. It really surprised everyone, and our realtor is getting more information, and
there is a federal floodplain.
Right.
Is it in a floodplain?
It's technically not. It's a 3 out of 10 score on the FEMA risk. That's the best information that I could find. And our realtor said, no, it's not. And she seems to think that they've been doing some paving and like redoing of the roads in that neighborhood, and it may have changed the flow of water. And it could have just been this freak thing that happened to this home and like 1 or 2 others. But we just don't know whether it's a freak thing or not. Now it's on the history of this has been flooded. And, we wonder if it's even worth staying in, or maybe it's just a freak thing and it's an opportunity. We just don't know.
You are brand new married, you have a 9-month-old, and it's your very first home purchase. You don't need this.
Absolutely not.
Right.
I'm getting out of it, man.
Right.
Now you said...
I think it's just that... Oh.
It's just a house deal.
Yeah, it is.
It's just a house deal, and the house flooded.
Yeah.
And they lost their buyer.
That's it. Now, you said you may lose some money. What money will you lose?
Well, it's not much. So what they didn't have a radon system installed, and we talked with the seller and said, hey, if we, end up going with this home, we'd love to have a radon system installed. They said, sure. We decided to pay that up. They were going to give us a credit at closing, which is about $2,200. And the radon system is only $1,600. And we said, yeah, we'd pay for that, now, and then we'd get that money back at closing. We're just, wondering, will we have to eat that cost? And
yeah, you'll have to eat that cost. You lost that money.
Yeah.
And the lesson you learn is you don't put systems in other people's houses.
Right.
You shouldn't have done it that way. They should have done it, period, if they wanted to do the deal.
Got it.
But
okay, good to
if
know.
you wanted it that bad. But that's your lesson learned here. But they've got a flooded house with a new radon system in it. Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
That's
it's just a crazy market.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Your life is already crazy. You're moving. You have a 9-month-old and a new marriage. The last thing you need is a flooded basement, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, that was kind of my instinct. I just kind of needed to hear that objective.
Yeah. 5 years from today, you'll be glad you did not insert this hassle and mess and cleanup and potential future problems into your life while you have all these other things on your plate that are much more important.
Right.
Even if you rent for a year, whoop-de-doop-de.
Right.
Yeah.
We just, because they were saying, maybe we'll lower the cost like significantly, and I was like,
it's not about the cost. It's about you're about to give up a huge chunk of your life in an already chaotic life.
It's about peace, man.
Yeah.
You want peace, right? You need peace.
Yeah.
Right now.
If you call me up and said I want to build a house,
yeah,
I would tell you, don't build a house for your first home. Don't build a house in your first year of marriage, and don't build a house with a 9-month-old. This is a good way to get a divorce.
Oof.
You know, but why? It's peace. It doesn't mean building a house is a bad idea. It means in your situation, you are asking for crap. You're asking for trouble, man. And just don't do that. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, Andrew, I would just call your realtor and say, hey, let's get out of the deal ASAP.
Yeah, just end it, man. I'm sorry. And start fresh and go look for something that's not in a floodplain.